Hey, what is going on, folks? It's your host, Roboute Lee. We're just going to jump into why Roboute Guilliman is the best Primarch. I will be taking note. Did you say you would say that? Why Roboute Guilliman is an absolute beast is actually the title of the video from the homie majorkill, one of my favorite Warhammer content creators to watch. Really funny, regardless of the accuracy that people argue about. The dude is entertaining, and at the same, I don't know what to tell you. I want the information, but I also want to be entertained when I'm doing this, and otherwise I'd read a book, So anyways, I actually do. I started reading Hell's Reach. It's a bit of a commitment, but I have actually started. But anyways, we're going. I got why Roboute Guilliman is the best. I got why Sin. I promise, I'm just saying that, and why Sanguinius is an absolute beast. Are the two videos I have on the agenda. If you guys see me just typing away, I take notes as I'm along the way, and I update them. Sometimes it's sloppy when I first do it, and I take the time to really polish them up, including some of my favorite quotes from these individuals. So right now, my list, I'm just going to do top 5. After 5, it's not really too deep as far as my thoughts go. Roboute Guilliman, Corvus Corax, Conrad Kurz, Fulgrim, Lehman Rouse. And again, I said I was going to stop at number 5, but 5 and 6 really occupy the same spot. I kind of cheated. But I like Khan's quote, "What wins the fight is what wins the fight. Ultimately, nothing should be excluded if that exclusion leads to defeat." Bars, Lehman Roos, "Beat your thoughts into the mound of your own will." Fulgrim, "You are the highest, and they the lowest. It is your duty to raise them up as high as they will go. Anything less is not worthy of you." Conrad Kurz, "It has been the tenacious throughout the ages of mankind. No plan survives contact with the enemy. I do not waste my time countering the plans of my foes, brother. I never care for what they intend to do, for they will never be allowed to do it. And all of their plans are ruined in the desperate struggle merely to survive. Stir within their hearts the gift of truest terror." I don't know how many different voices I can do. So here I got Conrad Kurz. "The first axiom of victory is the other when the enemy... The first axiom of victory is to be other than where the enemy desire you to be." Probably not the most unique. But Roboute Guilliman, we got... "The warrior who acts out of honor cannot fail. His duty is to honor itself. Even his death, if it is honorable, is a reward and can be no failure, for it has come through duty. Seek honor as you act. Therefore, you will know no fear. The realm is not real. Only will is real, and none may outmatch my will." Actually, before we even go into it, Daily Stoic, May 7th. I want to show you what the Daily Stoic May 7th says, because it reminds me of exactly of Roboute Guilliman's line. And I know it's going to be hard for you to hear, and I know y'all not coming here for this, but by listening to this, you'll see why I like certain quotes and why I had liked Roboute Guilliman. If you guys, sometimes I'm like, if you guys care. So as a YouTube content creator, we have two positions. We have the algorithm, and we have pushing good quality content. So I also, if you care to follow my thoughts, you'll stick around. So in regards to Roboute Guilliman, May 7th, I read the Daily Stoic just to help my mind. I'm sincerely about trying to become a better person, all the jazz that comes with it, despite my love for chaos. How to have a good day. God layeth down the law, saying, if you want some good, get it yourself. Here's how you guarantee you have a good day. Do good things. Any other source of joy outside your control or is non-renewable. Oh. God dang it. I'm going to have a hard time reading today. Roboute Guilliman took me out. I was fine until I read his. God layeth down this law, saying, if you want some good, get it from yourself. Here is how you guarantee you have a good day. Do good things. Any other source of joy is outside of your control or it is non-renewable. But this one is all you, all the time, and unending. It is the ultimate form of self-reliance. All right, I had to really like commit myself to reading. Anyways, there's a lot of talks in May about just doing good for the sake of doing good. Don't worry about the result. Don't worry about rewards. Don't worry about what results are. Don't worry about what people got to say. Just be good. And that spoke to me. There's another one, but I won't spend too much time looking for it. Anyways, let's just jump into the video.
Imagine which Primarchs could eviscerate you with their pinky and then violate your remains. Guilliman probably isn't the first Primarch that comes to mind. Each Primarch was designed to be equal in the way that they were given the same amount of attention and power in their creation. Well, creating a Primarch is more of an art than a science, it seems, because some Primarchs, Sanguinius, are much better than others, Lorgar. From a combat perspective, Primarchs like the Lion and Angron come to mind as powerhouses, whereas Guilliman definitely just does not. But badassery doesn't come from talent or skill. Badassery comes from pushing yourself above and beyond, surprising people with your tenacity and ferocity, and basically achieving above what is expected of you. The guardsman that stood in front of the Emperor to protect him from Horus wasn't a very good fighter. If anything, he was a bit of a spurg. But his actions, although led to his horrific death, were extremely badass and convinced the Emperor not to give up. When you think of Guilliman, you think of a big blue nerd who is always super stern, a bit of a goody two-shoes who doesn't lose his cool. Well, today I'm about to rock your world, baby, and show you that Guilliman is an absolute beast and makes all the naysayers that tease him all the time look like silly little monkeys. If it wasn't—
Who's teasing Guilliman? Yo, what? Yo, what? Whatever.
Obvious by my strange language at this point, I'm not allowed to swear until the 3-minute mark of this video. Let's get into it. When the Emperor wanted to clap the galaxy's cheeks, he created 20 demigod super soldiers using some incredibly questionable methods, including, but not limited to, wanking into a tube and then stealing power from the gods of hell. Each of his children, called Primarchs, were designed to represent one or more of his aspects of his character. For example, Magnus was the Emperor's thirst for knowledge and psychic prowess, Rogel Dawn was his unbreakable will, and Lorgar was his deep and regrettable taste for choir boys. Guilliman was his administration and practicality. Whilst this wasn't as exciting as Sanguinius's wings or Corvus's ability to become invisible, it was by far the most effective.
I miss that Corvus becomes invisible.
When the gods of chaos yeeted the baby Primarchs across the galaxy by taking advantage of the Primarch's mother's postnatal depression, Guilliman was the one who succeeded the most. By the time he was found, he'd already created a star-spanning empire. Did you hear that, Angron? A whole empire. For the most part, that is what Guilliman is known for, his immaculate tax returns. Everyone knows Guilliman is effective, but this isn't what this video is about. It wouldn't be a really fun video if it was titled Guilliman is Effective, Warhammer 40K Lore.
No.
His badassery comes from the fact that despite being chosen as the administrator, he pushes himself to become a demigod of war, making even the most insane berserkers of Khorne no fear, and regularly challenging and even beating creatures significantly more powerful than he. I'm now going to go through and explain every moment of Guilliman's that show him as the monster I want you to see him as, not just the privileged white Aryan kid that we love to tease. A lot of Guilliman's reputation as an administrator was from the Great Crusade. There was not much need for him to go beast mode, even though he still did it on occasion, such as when he led the Ultramarines in massacring some powerful xenos, with G-Man personally performing a gnarly fatality on their leader. It was not until the beginning of the Great Crusade that we begin to see the dark suppressed side of Guilliman's rage, more or less kicking off because of Lorgar, that creepy pedo fuck. The first moment of, oh hey there Roboute, was when Lorgar was throwing a tanty and smashed his huge ass mace into Guilliman when Guilliman was blowing up Lorgar's favourite city because he was being too religious. Instead of losing his cool or even blocking the attack, Guilliman just gets up and asks Lorgar if he's done being a bitch. Nice. Sometime later, when Lorgar had accepted Hell as his new dad, he launched a surprise attack against the Ultramarines. Now it did take Guilliman a bit of time to realise what the fuck was going on. The thought that half the Primarchs were now evil was a strange thought indeed. As such, Guilliman was broadcasting a message that said, "Yo, we are friendly, stop shooting us, you retards." But when he realized it wasn't an accident, he changed the message to, Lorgar is a kitty fiddling fuck who needs to eat shit and die. As soon as he changed the message, Lorgar gave him a call and basically gave him the old villain monologue, where they act really cocky and tell the other person their entire plan for no specific reason other than to gloat. During the call, Guilliman drops his cold and calm demeanor and straight up tells Lorgar that he's going to get violently sodomized to death. Lorgar replies by being a bad sport and blowing up the...
This is why I like majorkill, man. Because again, how much of it is accurate as far as word for word is concerned, I don't actually know. It's like, I get the gist, I get the feeling, man. It's so hilarious. I don't know why his scripts are so funny, man.
The command bridge where Guilliman is, knocking G-Man into space without his helmet. But that's just a minor inconvenience for the giant blue daddy, as he then proceeds to run around space, screaming in the void whilst pulverizing word bearers left, right and center in a shower of violence and death. G-Man then re-enters his ship and begins a counterattack. Now generally, a Guilliman counterattack would be him sitting in a bunker giving calculated and precise orders, whilst Eldar Porn plays on a different monitor. That is more or less what Lorgar was expecting. I mean, I guess he was expecting Guilliman being blown up and thrown into space to be somewhat fatal, but this would be plan B. Guilliman instead was like, fuck this, and he went against his nature. He personally led an elite strike team from the front as they attack various heavily defended positions in order to gain the upper hand in the battle. There is a scene where a bunch of word bearers, including the powerful Gal Vorbak, who are guarding an important location.
Lorgar has the word bearers. I'm sorry. I forgot that he has the word bearers. Lorgar is the word bearers? Yeah, that's a game changer. I forgot that. I ain't gonna hold you. I know that's gonna make me sound fickle. But I absolutely love the lore of the word bearers because them boys are just religious, which now casts out Lehman Russ and Khan out into the abyss. So it's Roboute Guilliman. I guess it's kind of even. We got Roboute Guilliman, loyalists. We got Conrad. We got Corvus Coraz, another loyalist. So the loyalists occupy the top 2 spots, right? So the points is kind of fair, and then the next 3 are chaos. That's so funny, man. I forgot about that. I love the word bearers, man. I love what he stands for. That's funny. All right. Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Gal, when you close your eyes and imagine which Primarchs could eviscerate you with their pinky and then violate your remains.
That pisses me off. It's so easy. God dang it. See what I get here.
An important location. Guilliman pops in with a handful of Ultramarines, and they begin charging at the more numerous group of word bearers, including the powerful Gal Vorbak team from the front, as they attack various heavily defended positions in order to gain the upper hand in the battle. There is a scene where a bunch of word bearers, including the powerful Gal Vorbak, who are guarding an important location. Guilliman pops in with a handful of Ultramarines, and they begin charging at the more numerous group of word bearers as they scream in rage and anger. The word bearers are so shocked that even the Gal Vorbak feel fear, the Gal Vorbak being demon marines. None of them raise their guns in time, and Guilliman gets to them and begins tearing them limb from limb in a massacre. It was seriously epic and very unexpected. Like, that's something Lehman or Angron would do, as they were made to be ferocious.
Lehman is ferocious.
Guilliman allowed the Ultramarines to repel the word bearers. What should have been the destruction of the Ultramarine Legion turned into a slaughter of word bearers. To an extent. Both sides got pretty fucked hard here. Now after this, Guilliman...
I do apologize. Even though I know all the Primarchs, I hope you guys can imagine. The first time was just getting to know the Primarchs. Now on this one, it's like I got a little bit about them. I gotta really distinguish what's the difference. So Lehman is ferocious. And aggressive. Viking. Remember, that's what he's based off of. And then who was the other one? Regal, Mortician, Leon, Angron. Actually, I already know Angron is angry. So that's why they're, okay, angry and ferocious. I already know it because he got the butcher nails in him. Angry, ferocious. All right. That Angron is actually easy. That dude's name is Angron for angry. Lehman being ferocious. I knew he was a Viking, but what I was missing was not that Lehman was a Viking warrior like thing, but him and Angron are both ferocious. And I feel like if I remember, Lumen Russ and Angron are always at odds with each other. Like they are rivals. And now you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like a lot of the rivals are someone who is a great counterpart. So Vulcan went against Fulgrim, and Fulgrim enjoyed all the ways you can torture and kill somebody. That's the kind of sick F Fulgrim can be, and he got off doing that with Vulcan. Sorry, majorkill does interesting things, so I just want to see what else could you be doing on this? Whatever. Let's get back into it.
Could and usually would have spent time regrouping and analysing the situation. Now after this, Guilliman could and usually would have spent time regrouping and analysing the situation, thinking about the next move and the bigger picture. But Guilliman had unleashed the beast, and all he wanted was revenge. So he put together the most patchwork makeshift fleet of ships that was still somewhat functional and begun chasing Lorgar, revenge burning in his pants. Eventually he catches up to Lorgar, who is buddied up with Angron. They get caught because Angron and Lorgar arrived at Angron's home planet, you know, the one that he couldn't conquer. You know, because he was the only Primarch who was unable to conquer his own planet. Ooh. You know, because he fucking sucks. Angron was taking too long having a cry and messing about, hence the Ultramarines led by their mightily pissed off Aryan Overlord arrived. Lorgar and Angron had their capital ships and fleets of 2 legions. Guilliman had a ragtag team of...
I'm very... the irony doesn't miss me that I am a black man support Roboute Guilliman, as I keep hearing of his Aryan superiority, but I'm 15% mixed with, I don't know, English, Irish, Germanic, what else am I missing? Wales, because whatever. Anyways, so it's just funny as he keeps talking about the Aryan aspect. I'm like, yeah, I am an old Uncle Tom over here, but hey, I love me some Roboute Guilliman.
Ships that had been thrown together at the last minute. Take a guess who ended up winning the space battle. Guilliman's forces were able to destroy Lorgar's capital ship and nearly took over Angron's via boarding. G-Man was then able to blast a hole in the trader's fleet and land on the planet, where he immediately charged at Lorgar and the 2 fought. I would say at this point, Lorgar's power level was higher. He had accepted his psychic gifts, been powered up by chaos, and had fought against Corvus and numerous other space marines.
Yeah.
Despite this, I would say Guilliman actually came out on top. It really depends which hit you count as harder. Either G-Man's uppercut, which shattered Lorgar's sternum and crushed his ribs, or Lorgar's mace to Guilliman's face, which tore off half of it. Even though the damage is comparable, Guilliman ate that mace hit like it was nothing. He was even then able to hold off Angron for a time, despite that injury, being exhausted and Angron being Angron. He only made the decision to finally fall back when Angron turned into a big-ass angry demon. You know, that's a decision I can really get behind. If he had stayed, he wouldn't have been a badass, he just would have been a retard. Did I mention that Guilliman was stabbed with the same knife that was used to mortally wound, then turn Horus to chaos? And you know what Guilliman's reaction was? It was, "Oi, dickhead, don't do that." Before then punching a hole through the man who stabbed him and walking off the injury.
Does those bother you? Some of the majorkill haters? Does that make it feel inaccurate? I think this is one of the funniest scripts I've heard for Warhammer.
Sometime after this, Guilliman is in a position where he believes the Emperor is dead and the traitors have won, as he wasn't able to receive communications from Terra due to Warp Spaghetti. Does he despair and go into hiding? Does he join Chaos to save himself? No. The Mad Lad sets up Imperium 2.0 and guides Sanguinius and the Lion to him to prepare to wage a new war against Chaos. Despite setting this all up, as soon as he hears that his father is alive, he ditches everything and charges back to Terra, giving Sanguinius the opening to get back there in time and kind of save the day. Post-heresy, Guilliman was the only Primarch that was sensible enough to administer and rebuild the Imperium, while the rest of these loyalist brothers were chasing suicidal vendettas. Looking at you, Rogel. It takes a lot of restraint and willpower not to give in to the rage and desire to seek revenge. Unfortunately, G-Man allowed himself to get outplayed and fatally wounded by Fulgrim, which is a bit embarrassing, but even then he was still being a badass. He knew Fulgrim was the better fighter, but if only he could hold a Fulgrim for long enough, his fleet could have won the battle. Unfortunately, Bobby G didn't account for the fact that Fulgrim now had 4 arms and 6 tits, hence Bobby G suffered a fatal knife wound to the neck and died. But he survived! After 10,000 years of stasis, some Eldar death voodoo combined with some mad science brought the big boy back, and not a second too late. When Guilliman was revived, Chaos was invading his homeworld, and they were only meters away from him. You should really read the excerpt of when Guilliman was revived, it's extremely badass, and I'm going to adjust this here, but basically once he stood up, the entire room, dozens of warriors, most of whom were insane, stopped fighting. Everyone was completely shocked until a Khornite berserker Leroy Jenkins himself at Guilliman was bisected for his efforts. Guilliman then takes a moment to look at his surroundings before then charging into the crowd and more or less single-handedly kills the entire Chaos army. You gotta remember that Chaos during the Heresy is very different from Chaos in 40k. Guilliman woke up with the Eldar as his allies, Space Marine sons he doesn't know, and way more gnarly Chaos Marines. To him, he was stabbed in the neck and blacked out, only to wake up to an intense battle all around him, which he then absolutely rocked. When he drove...
Quickly understanding the assignment, bruh. Let's talk a moment, bruh. Yo, Guilliman wakes up 10,000 years later. To him, it's only been a second. He's like, yo, the Eldar are winners? Yo, who are them people over there? I don't even know these allies. F it. Still jumps in the battle, man. What a badass.
Chaos out of his home, he was tricked into putting on a Slaaneshi crown. The crown was supposed to corrupt whoever wore it, but after a couple seconds, Guilliman removed it and had the Slaaneshi spy arrested. After this, he entered in an absolute fiesta of a journey to Terra, where Magnus and his forces of Titsnitch were trying to fuck him every step of the way. When he finally got to the moon next to Terra, Magnus popped out and attacked him. Magnus, a massive red magic demon against our boy. Magnus threw a building at Guilliman, set him on fire, and was just an all-round shitty brother. In return, Guilliman was able to break Magnus's jaw, and with the help of some Eldar and Sisters of Silence, banish his brother back to the warp. Pew! Finally, Guilliman be home. He can have a breather. No, he can't! Because a fuck-huge demon army of Khorne has rocked up and Guilliman is back to battle. Guilliman is able to lead the Imperium to victory and defeat the armies of Khorne. Now he can rest, right? Well, maybe. No. But he doesn't. He completely purges Terra of xenos, mutants, and chaos cults before then reforming the Imperium and mustering the largest fleet the galaxy had ever seen for 10,000 years. With this fleet, he purges half the galaxy, delivering reinforcements everywhere he can. The Imperium went from the brink of collapse to thriving despite how many threats it faced. Guilliman only left the Crusade when his other evil brother, yes, he's got a couple of those, Morty, invaded his home. Guilliman once again stood up to and fought off his brother, despite his brother being heavily empowered by chaos. Throughout all of this, Rub Me Off GuilliMan has been able to maintain a sense of humour. It's not a very good sense of humour, but it's the effort that counts. Guilliman isn't the strongest, fastest, or most skilled Primarch. He's not even close, yet I would say he has the most conviction and will.
There it is. That's what I like.
Just follow their design. Guilliman is able to break from this and push himself to new heights without becoming a Mary Sue. He makes mistakes and miscalculations. He loses jaws and gets his ass kicked, but he comes back stronger every time.
That's what I love.
Being a badass isn't about punching someone. It's about taking a punch then getting back up. I'm really hoping Guilliman is able to get his revenge against Lorgar. A scene I hope for would be where Guilliman tracks down Lorgar and beats the shit out of him, but he gets held back with psychic powers as Lorgar opens up an escape portal.
I love this video.
Lorgar escapes, he mocks Guilliman. However, as he's mocking him, Corvus Corax emerges from the escape portal and impales Lorgar, holding him in place as Guilliman walks up and kills Lorgar permanently with his flaming sword. This means Corvus and Guilliman getting their revenge, and it allows Corvus to re-enter the setting. I think that would be cool. And that does us for today, guys. Why Guilliman is an absolute beast. I'm just trying to do my part and make people realize that Matt Ward hasn't worked for GW for about 7 years now, and it's okay to like Ultramarines and Guilliman. They become one of my favourite chapters, and now you might see why. If you enjoyed the video and want to support the channel, then Patreon is the place to be, where only $1 per month give you access to a boatload of Warhammer hentai. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the real subscribe button for more beastly content. Join the Discord for more memes, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
We all got Patreons, man. I actually did join Majorkill's Patreon, not even for the hentai. I got time for all that. It was a funny video, but you know, I watch his content just to show support. I too got a Patreon. I got a $1 tier. I'm actually in the middle of opening a free tier. Well, I already have a free tier, so join that. But I'm going to put a poll for which Primarchs y'all want to deep dive to, like, next, kind of a thing, or want me to explore next. So we'll start running more polls and stuff like that. Anyways, that was good, man. And I think one thing to note, when I first was introduced to Roboute Guilliman as like a character, they showed his image really brief, what he stood for in the Bricky videos. He was my least favorite. I was like, he's a Boy Scout. Captain America wasn't gonna like him. And I did think I liked him because he's not really extremely good or bad or anything like that. Like, some of these people, I don't know how to explain it, but they're trying to be very righteous, and in their righteous, they become evil. Or they're very strong. They did some badass stuff. Or shout out to my homie Khan. Like, he didn't want to get involved, so he was just chilling. Vulcan, he's so good. Such a good person. Just keeps dying. But, like, Roboute Guilliman got that conviction. There was just something about it, and obviously it's already said best by majorkill, but he just keeps pushing through, and you just hear the tenacity. And yeah, he died, it's been taken down, but he lives. He keeps coming back. There's something about that. He kind of has an underdog feel, but he himself is not an underdog. He's great. So, even though I just made fun of Captain America, Roboute Guilliman really represents, not really represents, but is very comparable to someone like Captain America, because yeah, Captain America is a super soldier, but like, when you're really looking at it, like really looking at it, that was a big deal in the 60s for when Captain America was designed. He would have been like the Superman of the present time. There'd be no way anyone could stop this guy. But in the modern times, technology has advanced, superhero powers have advanced, everything has advanced. So Captain America's powers isn't really what makes him amazing. It's Steve Rogers, the man. They selected the right man for the job, and anyone else, as far as the story goes, because there's a lot of powered superhuman people that don't even have the formula, but it's something else. But Captain America is so special. But following the intention of the story, if anyone else had had the superheroes, the super soldier serum, they wouldn't have accomplished the feats that Captain America did. And they balanced him off by giving him the goddamn adamantium / vibranium, depending on which universe shield you give him. It's very durable. It can tank almost anything. And it allows this normal man to keep up. But if he just slips up, don't worry. He has this unbreakable shield, unless you're Thanos. So anyways, that's why, relatively speaking, Captain America is actually a fantastic character. And I never even saw Captain America in this light until I saw the comparison with Roboute Guilliman, and my respect for Roboute Guilliman forced my respect for Captain America. Because up until this video, I never said anything that mature about Captain America, but I have today. And it's like, damn, he's actually him. That's kind of funny how life works out. You it's good by association. I associate him with Captain America. I associated Captain America with Roboute Guilliman. So he has to be good, right? If you're going to be compared to Roboute Guilliman, you got to be a great guy. Anyways, guys, I want to check out Sanguinius' video next. I thank you for taking the time to watch. If you guys have anything to recommend, use the pinned comment to recommend content. I also have a Patreon. I look forward to connecting with you guys. As always, thanks for supporting this channel. If you don't know, we do have a Patreon, and it's free to join. You can stay updated, suggest content, or vote on polls. If you're interested in our uncut and early reactions to anime, K-drama, Western shows, and movie reactions, which include exclusive reactions not found on YouTube, you can join the upper tiers on Patreon, or you can stick with the edited content right here on YouTube. We got Yaboyrocklee reactions also in the description of this video. Until next time, I'm out.